Yes. First of all, let's tell our listeners that the American policy in our region is not
Mm,
for the support of the safety, stability, and the progress, and I would even
mm,
add on independence and sovereignty of our people. When you talk about
mm,
democracy, their definition of democracy is totally different from our definition of democracy. For us,
mm,
we have learned democracy as it stems from the old Greek philosophers that it is democracy stands for the majority will or majority rule and minority rights. When Muzungu comes to our region, that's not what they think of democracy, and that's not what they want you to believe. For them,
mm,
democracy means that they are special and they can get whatever we have, or rather, whatever they have is theirs, whatever we have is theirs, and we have nothing. So,
mm,
exploitation is the bottom line
mm,
for them. Now, they realized within our region that they could tame, and they have successfully tamed this small minority of Batusi, and they are grooming it to be the dominant force that determines our existence in the entire region. Now, if you are really true democratic in the spirit of George Washington and Abraham Lincoln and the JFK, how could you allow 9 or 10% of Batusi to dominate 90% of Bahutu in Rwanda? They even poured in money, brought in military equipment, brought in their personnel. We know that they sent in special commandos and the Marines to help the Kagame group to take over Rwanda, kill 1 million people, and then declare falsely that no, the people who died are the ones who invaded. And there is nothing closer to real bullshit as that statement. And it is a shame to see that statement coming out of honorable gentlemen in high up positions in the US government and the British government. Well, we know the reason why they did that. Because they were preparing for the total takeover of Congo, which is the richest country in this whole world in respect to natural resources. There is no any other country which is loaded with riches as Congo. And they want to colonize it, but they are not going to send their boys. They are going to use these hooligans from Kigali to work as administrators of this new Muzungu colony called the Congo. Because as long as the Muzungu is mining all the minerals, taking them for their to expand their wealth, and they leave you there, you kill the natives. Because after all, what these people want is to have space for to graze their cattle. That's all. And there is plenty of grass in the Congo to feed any cows, any number of cows you want. Since these people are just cow keepers, that's all they want. And they are going to do that unless we stop them. It is our duty and our responsibility to stop this nonsense. Because if we don't, we are going to perish. Okay? Democracy does not mean the same thing to them as it means to us. I
mm,
think if you remember in one of my lectures, I told you that former Attorney General of the United States, Ramsey Clark, told us
mm,
way back in the
mm,
70s, in the 80s, our lives as black people are dispensable. These people
mm,
don't give a damn. You've seen how they have screamed when 19 kids were slaughtered by their own child in Texas. You've seen how they are screaming at the killing of blonde and blue-eyed people in Ukraine. But have you heard them scream when over 10 million Congolese have been killed? No. Shamelessly, these people didn't even announce it on their news networks when President Magufuli of Tanzania died. But they'll tell us about a whale that collapsed at one of the beaches somewhere in California or Australia. They'll tell
It's
us
true.
about tiger which died when it is giving birth in some zoo. But they did not even broadcast to the world that a president, a whole president of a country called Tanzania has passed away. They didn't. Not CNN, not BBC, not CBS, not NBC, not Fox News. None of these Muzungu broadcasts put it out as news. One other person commented about where is all this money coming from and where? It's a question. It's a big question. It's not fitting within the economic capability of Uganda. That's true. This money is coming from borrowed money. The debt is hanging on Uganda's head. This money has been borrowed. If you remember how that guy explained to you Confessions of an Economic Hitman, he said, we will loan the money to a country. We don't care how much it is because we have a purpose to enslave that country. Now that they have enslaved Uganda, they can tell them, send troops pretending you are going to Congo to fight ADF. Hey, not ADF to be fought in Congo. No. We want you to go to Karamoja, kill out all those Karamajongs. Well, as hyenas do and the coyotes and the jackals, you take the land, graze your cattle while we are digging the gold and uranium and the marble. Yes, sir. You become a tool. I call them toilet papers. They are going to use you. They are going to rip off everything they want out of that territory, but they give you elbow room, do whatever you want. Now, if you're interested in killing the natives, good, go ahead and do it. We are going to turn a blind eye. As I told you, that colonel who was in charge of Somalia, an American army colonel, told me that we know, in fact, he told me, we know everything more than you do, the bad things Museveni has done, but we don't care because what we tell him, he will do it. He's our bastard child. Whether he's killing you or doing that, we don't care as long as he does what we want. That is their attitude. Then they tell you we are the biggest democracy in the world. We are a very good Christian country, baloney.